Hey, so I just successfully downloaded a bunch more uh, TPU software, and I confirmed I did have an issue running CUDA because I went to install it again, and I got a warning saying that the issue with my existing installation, uh, because no environmental variable path was made. So I made a new environmental path in addition to downloading a bunch of TPU stuff off of the Python uh, distribution library, whatever you want to call it. And one of those things was TPU accelerator offloader uh, improve FPS. That was the description. And I was like, ooh, improve FPS? Maybe this is actually like something that's gonna work with TPUs for gamers. And this is the second game I've played with it. First game I was playing Chivalry 2, and I noticed, I was like, hey, I'm above 200 FPS, way more than I used to, but it's not a super consistent game. Like there are a lot of levels where I'll be at 200, and then other levels where I might be 170 or 140, you know, periodically between 170 and 140, and other times I'm between 170 and 220. But this time I noticed, I was like, oh, I'm above like 200, like a lot, and that's not normal. So I just downloaded that stuff. So I was like, all right, this game is almost always 65, 70 FPS, always. And I popped it in, and I am gaming at 80, 75 to 90. So I'm gonna say that with the correct software, and I haven't 110, 120% confirmed this yet, um, you can improve your frames per second with TensorFlow processor offloading. And that may just be if you're CPU bound, but this is running in CUDA. So that's not a guarantee. It could be unloading tasks from the GPU. I honestly don't know. My GPU is running at 98%, which is not typical. I'm probably using more GPU than I normally do. Normally, it's not pegged because I'm probably CPU bound because I'm not overclocking my CPU at all. And that's fine. But right now, my CPU is 35%, my GPU is 98%. So I'm not CPU bound, near as I can tell. And, well, right now I'm 65 frames per second. But that was all the time. And now that I'm out of the water, I'm 75, 80. So I definitely gotten a 10% bump in my frames per second without changing any settings, no other variables, except I created the environmental variable for CUDA, and I downloaded TPU software that was advertised to increase your FPS. And it seems to be effective. It seems I'm not good at this game. I don't really play this game too much. It's whatever. But it's consistent. 65, 70. Now I'm 75, 80. Sometimes 90. There's definitely a boost to my FPS. Let me get out of here and boot something else up. Actually, I haven't done an internet speed test since I did that, although there was no advertising for that. Alright. I'm not actually expecting an increase here, but you never know. Yeah, same. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Well, we might be improved. 11 is not common. 10 is almost never. We might be improved. We might have reduced upload latency and bottom of the standard deviation for download. More time. It's the same. Download faster than where I started, 27. But still, I'm not going to consider that improvement. If I pull an 11 again, 11 millisecond upload is, yeah, twice in a row. I don't know if I've ever seen an 11 before. So I'm going to say that that's improved. What we're dealing with, good, really good before was 12, but I was 13, 14 when I started. So let's just see. We may legitimately be improving the performance of the system with artificial intelligence and parallel processing. There may be legitimate improvements here. Yeah. I mean, if it's not improved, it's as good as it's ever been. If this is 1 millisecond, but I didn't get 3 bests in a row. I got 2 bests in a row and then a tie for my best. But it's as good as it's ever been, or it's improved. And that's with TPU offloading, and that is with actual frames per second in actual games. Which is another game that I kind of have a good idea of my frames per second. Whatever. Dude, the day's gone.